Red Bull lost almost 4 hours on day 1 in Bahrain. Hydraulic failure. Garage doors closed. Rumors of instability everywhere. 48 hours later, Max Verstappen completes a full race simulation, and is 0.4 per lap faster than Ferrari over the distance. 57 laps. No tire collapse. No overheating drama. And then he says something that should worry the entire grid. The car does exactly what I want. Not hopeful. Not cautious. Certain. Add to that an engine running significantly cooler than rivals, tighter bodywork, and up to 15 km/h advantage on the straights without DRS. And here is the twist. GPS data suggests he was not even pushing at full qualifying power. If that is true, what we saw in Bahrain was not the limit. It was controlled. If you think preseason testing does not matter, wait until you hear what Verstappen just revealed. Subscribe now. Because this might be the clearest warning Red Bull has given before a season opener in years. Let's rewind to the moment everything almost fell apart. Day 1 in Bahrain did not look like dominance. It looked like vulnerability. A major hydraulic leak forced the RB22 back into the garage for nearly 4 hours. Bodywork removed. Rear end exposed. Engineers scrambling. And then Max Verstappen made a decision that sent shockwaves through the paddock. He refused to drive the car that afternoon. Not out of frustration. Out of principle. He did not want laps in a compromise machine. He wanted it fixed properly. That single choice told you something about Red Bull's mindset. They are not chasing mileage. They are chasing perfection. Now fast forward to Thursday. Verstappen gets back in. No drama. No overdriving. Just immediate pace. But the real signal was not a headline lap time. It was the long run. 15 consecutive laps with almost no variation. Barely 1/10 of a second between them. While others were already managing rear degradation, the RB22 looked planted, balanced, effortless. And then came Friday. The full race simulation. 57 laps including pit stops. Average pace roughly 0.4 per lap faster than Ferrari and McLaren over the distance. That is not marginal. Over a full Grand Prix, that is decisive. But here is where the story becomes insane. After the test, Verstappen did not sound cautious. He said the car does exactly what he wants. It is predictable. Fun to drive. Those are not empty words. Predictability means the aerodynamic platform is stable. Stable means tire temperatures remain under control. Controlled tires mean consistent lap times. And consistent lap times win championships. But there is something deeper. The new Ford power unit, which many questioned before testing, ran significantly cooler than expected. Around 12 degrees cooler than a major rival. Cooler engine temperatures allow tighter bodywork. Tighter bodywork reduces drag. Lower drag increases straight-line speed. Telemetry suggests up to 15 km/h advantage at the end of the straight without DRS. And that is before we even mention qualifying simulations. GPS data indicates that during certain fast laps, Verstappen was lifting slightly on the straights. Not showing everything. Still posting competitive times. If that is true, then what we saw in Bahrain was not maximum performance. It was controlled performance. Which leads to a dangerous conclusion. Red Bull did not leave preseason searching for answers. They left with confirmation. Confirmation that the RB22 manages tires better than anyone. Confirmation that the engine is not a weakness. Confirmation that the platform allows Verstappen to push without correction. And when the reigning champion says the car is an extension of his body, that is not preseason optimism. That is a warning. Because if Bahrain testing was any indication, Red Bull is not experimenting. They are refining. And the question now is not whether they are fast. It is how much they are still holding back before race 1. Now here is where the tone shifts from impressive to intimidating. Because what Verstappen revealed after Bahrain was not just confidence. It was control. He openly said they were not focused on Ferrari's single-lap pace. Think about that. Most teams obsess over qualifying simulations during testing. Red Bull did not. Why? Because they believe their race pace advantage is decisive. And when a team builds its strategy around Sunday instead of Saturday, that tells you they trust their long-run performance completely. The full race simulation on Friday was not just faster. It was stable. No visible drop-off after 10 laps. No overheating cycles. No sudden rear instability. While rivals were carefully managing tire temperatures, Verstappen was pushing. That difference matters. Because tire management in Bahrain defines the entire race. If you can extend stints by even 2 laps without losing pace, strategy becomes flexible. Undercuts become lethal. Overcuts become possible. And Red Bull appears to have that flexibility. But there is an even more unsettling detail. The anti-dive suspension keeps the aerodynamic platform level under heavy braking. That means the nose does not collapse. Downforce remains consistent, which allows Verstappen to brake later without sliding the front tires. Later braking reduces lap time. Reduced sliding protects tire life. It is a cycle of efficiency. Add to that the engine efficiency. Running cooler by roughly 12 degrees gives engineers freedom. Freedom to close the bodywork. Freedom to reduce drag. Freedom to maximize straight-line speed. And telemetry indicating up to 15 km per hour advantage without DRS means overtaking them will be extremely difficult. If you cannot match their top speed, you cannot attack. And if you cannot attack, strategy becomes your only weapon. But strategy rarely beats superior pace over distance. Now combine all of this with the psychological layer. Verstappen did not sound pressured. He did not sound defensive. He sounded calm, certain. He described the car as predictable, fun, an extension of himself. That level of comfort in preseason is rare, because preseason usually reveals weaknesses. Instead, Red Bull appears to have revealed strength. The only unresolved concern remains the hydraulic issue from day one. Extreme packaging always carries risk. Tight integration means small faults can become complex repairs. But the fact that the team completed a full race simulation afterward without recurrence suggests the problem was isolated. And that shifts the narrative entirely. From vulnerability to validation. So what did Verstappen truly reveal after Bahrain? That the RB22 is not just fast. It is controlled, efficient, and potentially not yet operating at full qualifying power. If that is accurate, then the rest of the grid has a serious problem. Because preseason testing is about showing hints. Red Bull may have shown only part of the picture. And if this was only part of the picture, what happens when they stop holding back? And this is where the real warning begins. Because dominance in Formula One is not built on one fast lap. It is built on repeatability, on rhythm, on the ability to deliver the same performance over and over without stressing the car. In Bahrain, after that chaotic first day, Red Bull did not look like a team solving problems. They looked like a team confirming solutions. The full race simulation was not a gamble. It was a statement. 57 laps. Controlled pace. Minimal degradation. Strategic flexibility. And Verstappen's tone afterward was the clearest signal of all. He did not say the car feels promising. He did not say they are working in the right direction. He said it does exactly what he wants. That level of alignment between driver and machine this early in the season is rare. When a driver feels comfortable, he pushes differently. He brakes later without hesitation. He commits to throttle earlier without fear of snap oversteer. He trusts the platform. And trust translates directly into performance. Now think about the strategic implications. If Red Bull truly holds a 4/10 per lap advantage over race distance, competitors must overperform on Saturday. They must qualify ahead. They must defend aggressively. Because once the race settles into rhythm, tire management becomes decisive. And Red Bull appears to be operating in a different tire window altogether. The anti-dive suspension keeps the front stable under braking. The engine running cooler allows tighter packaging and lower drag. The straight line advantage without DRS makes overtaking them extremely difficult. Each of these elements alone is strong. Combined, they create something formidable. But here is the most unsettling thought. GPS traces suggest that even during qualifying style runs, Verstappen was not extracting everything. Slight lifts on the straights. Controlled deployment. Still competitive. If that is accurate, then Bahrain did not show the ceiling. It showed restraint. And that changes the entire outlook for the first Grand Prix. Because if Red Bull enters race weekend with performance in reserve, they control the tempo. They dictate strategy. They force others into risky decisions. The hydraulic scare from day one now feels distant. A reminder that even dominant teams face technical setbacks. But the response to that setback may have revealed something even more important. Resilience. Efficiency. Confidence. So when Verstappen spoke after Bahrain, it was not just another preseason quote. It was a message. The RB22 is stable. It is predictable. It is efficient. And it may not have shown everything yet. The real question now is not whether Red Bull is fast. It is whether anyone else discovered enough in Bahrain to stop what might already be building. And now we reach the part that should genuinely unsettle the rest of the paddock. Because what Bahrain testing may have revealed is not just a fast car. It may have revealed a team operating from a position of surplus. Surplus confidence. Surplus pace. Surplus margin. When a team loses almost half a day to a hydraulic issue and still finishes testing with the strongest race simulation in the field, that says something profound. It says the base concept is strong. It says the foundation is not fragile. And most importantly, it says the ceiling might still be higher. Look at the progression. Day 1, chaos. Day 2, stability. Day 3, dominance. That curve is steep. And steep development curves at the start of a season are dangerous for everyone else. Because if Red Bull can solve a major issue overnight and immediately return to full race simulation mode, it means their internal understanding of the car is already mature. They are not experimenting blindly. They are refining details. Now consider Verstappen's mindset. He demanded perfection on Wednesday. He refused compromise. By Friday, he was relaxed, comfortable, confident enough to suggest that they are focused on Sunday, not Saturday. That is championship thinking. Because championships are not won in qualifying trim alone. They are won through degradation control, energy efficiency, consistency under pressure. And the RB22 appears to deliver all three. The engine efficiency advantage, running cooler than rivals, allows tighter bodywork and less drag. Less drag means higher top speed. Higher top speed without DRS means defensive strength. Defensive strength forces rivals into risky strategies. And risky strategies create mistakes. Add the anti-dive front suspension that keeps the aerodynamic platform stable under braking. That stability preserves tires. Preserved tires extend stints. Extended stints create strategic dominance. This is how control builds over a race distance. And if the GPS analysis is correct, if Verstappen truly lifted slightly during qualifying simulations, then we may not have seen the RB22 at full power yet. Which raises the most uncomfortable question of all. If this was Red Bull managing performance in preseason, what happens when they decide to unleash it under real championship pressure? Because Bahrain was not just about speed. It was about composure. A scare on Wednesday. A response on Thursday. A statement on Friday. And a champion who sounds like he already knows exactly where he stands. The rest of the grid now faces a ticking clock. 1 week before the lights go out. 1 week to interpret data. 1 week to close a gap that might already be larger than it appears. And if Verstappen's calm confidence after Bahrain means what it sounds like, then this season may not begin with a fight for control. It may begin with everyone else trying to take it away.